Welcome everyone to the interview between Travel Emotion and We Careful. My name is Andrea and I'm a partner at Travel Emotion. Our company supports charities with 1% of our turnover. And today I would like to give the floor to one of the organizations we supported with our initiative 1% for the Future. Today, Natalie is with me, the co-founder and president of We Careful. Natalie and I know each other for 10 years and I've always admired her passion and commitment in setting up the charity We Careful. Now, let's start with the interview. Welcome, Natalie.
Thank you, Andrea.
How was the idea born to found We Careful?
Well, in 2004, I traveled for 6 months through Africa with my now husband, and issues like poverty and children on the streets were all the time present. We were shocked and also a bit frustrated because we never knew how to react on that situation, especially when a kid comes and asks you for money or for food. And giving money to kids on the streets just helps them temporarily. Sometimes it even makes it worse because some of the families send their kids back to the streets to gain a little bit of income. Thereby, they don't go to school. Thereby, they don't have a future, and they don't have any other possibilities to live on the street than living on the streets. Some of the children don't even have a home and no one who cares for them. And all what they have is sniffing glue or taking other drugs and trying to manage their living and scramble whatever they get. So you can imagine that's quite frustrating, seeing those kids on the streets with no future perspective. And after 6 months traveling through Africa, coming back into my old life, into my old job in banking, I had my difficulties to find back, to be honest. So I decided to take a break, and between jobs I had the opportunity to go back to Kenya for a couple of weeks and to work as a volunteer in a home for 120 street boys. That home is called SCAN. Interacting with those kids and seeing that they just needed a home, care, love, was very impressive to me. And it touched my heart. Just to see that being recognized as a child and seen as a child is actually all what they needed. And I was also quite impressed about their strong will to survive and to see the positive things in their life. That's when they touched my heart. They still do, and that's where when the idea of Be Careful was born. So in 2005, together with my family and some friends, we founded Be Careful. With the goal to support disadvantaged children and young people in Kenya to give them some prospects for a better life.
What a lovely story.
Thank you.
Can you give us a bit more insights in who and what your organization supports?
Well, yes. In the beginning, we just started with sponsoring those kids at SCAN. And we also funded some infrastructure project. Actually, we just helped wherever it was needed. However, over the years, we just realized that we help the children most if we directly invest in them, mainly in their education. So today we are supporting 254 children and young people in financing their education. And what I really like is from the beginning, actually where the idea started up to today, SCAN, that home for street boys, is still our partner. In the meantime, we are supporting them with the whole educational cost for the 120 rehabilitated boys with approximately $50,000 a year. And next to SCAN, we have another organization, another partner, which is called Footsteps. Footsteps is a project in Nairobi who empowers girls and young women. And with them, or through them, we're giving 70 girls scholarships for their primary and secondary education. And next to that, we have smaller programs, smaller projects in Nairobi and around Nairobi, where we support another 64 kids with their education. But you know what? Let's ask Aruna. She's our project manager on site in Kenya, and she can give us quite a good insight about what we are doing.
Hi, my name is Aruna. I represent VK4 in Kenya. In Kenya, we have close to 1.2 million children out of school. In Nairobi itself, there are around 60,000 children living in the streets. The transition from primary to secondary, though Kenya has free primary education, the transition from primary to secondary is very low. So as part of VK4 in Kenya, we are supporting a lot of children to go to school and finish their secondary education. Our focus is on providing scholarships to children to finish their secondary school, and some students who have scored well, we also support them for university education. We provide mentorship and vocational skills training through various projects and organizations that we support. Currently, we are supporting around 250 children to finish their primary and secondary education through various programs in Kenya. I am currently outside this school called Joachim Junior Academy, where we are providing scholarship for 10 girls to finish their primary education through this organization called Footsteps.
Looking at the videos, I was wondering, how did the pandemic actually affect you? I know that schools have been closed since last March and just opened up in January this year.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the pandemic is hitting the local people doubly hard, and especially on the poorest of the Kenyan population. The situation is quite dramatic. As you said, schools were closed last March. Kenya initiated a complete lockdown of the whole country. Tourism collapsed from one day to the other. There were no jobs. Pregnancies among minors went up rapidly since the schools were closed, and hunger once more became a big issue. So we didn't have any expenses because schools were closed, and as I said, we support kids with their educational costs. So therefore, and because we want to react flexible on the situation on the ground, we decided that we support food programs. And together with our partner Footsteps, we initiated a program which gave a bit of structure back to the girls.
Hi, my name is Cynthia Corredo Moses. I'm the founder of Footsteps. Footsteps is a leadership and entrepreneurship incubator, empowering girls and young women to have skills and to be able to be equipped with skills to help them accelerate prosperity within their community, and also transforming their own lives and the lives of girls and also their peers at home and at school. So we are happy today to just bring a number of girls that are in the scholarship that We Care For provides. We have 9 girls here today from Silver High School in Dandora, and they participated in the GML program, that is the Girls Masomola program, during the COVID period in 2020, and mostly was a COVID response intervention to ensure that girls continuous learning even when they are at home. And we are happy that our girls were able to have a chance to be coached and have tutors to really help them, mostly in their mathematics, in English, public speaking, and sciences. And most of these girls really improve in those areas. And also one of the key things that was very paramount for us to have the Girls Masomo Lab was because of the issues of the high rate of girls' pregnancy, because they were out of school, and also the need of ensuring that girls continue learning and be equipped with the skills.
So what we did is we organized online trainings, mentorship programs, and also homeschooling to give those kids a better structure during the day. We wanted to focus especially on girls during that time because, as we said, pregnancies increased dramatically. And yeah, you can imagine young girls at that age being pregnant, that's a dead end. So that's why we decided to support those girls, and we still do with scholarships.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, we all have these challenges with homeschooling or like moving everything back home and going into an online mode. I mean, we have challenges such as having a speed, the internet speed is kind of important. What challenges did that do in Kenya?
Well, that was not the challenge I heard with the speed, or that was not the big issue. One challenge we realized while during that program is that families mainly have only one phone, and when the parents go out for trying to find a job or whatever they have to do, kids don't have the possibility to attain online classes. So that's one thing we are working on, how to solve those problems. Because it also has many advantages, of course, that online training, even when the schools are open.
Okay, interesting. So talking about a bit on the money side, how does your charity cover the overhead costs?
Since since we founded We Care For in 2005, it was always very important to us that 100% of the donations goes to the children on site. So what we do is we cover our administrative costs and expenses through membership and patronage fees. And the board of directors here in Switzerland and also our contributors, they all work on a voluntary basis so that we can keep our costs on a very minimal basis.
Okay. And how do you ensure that the money which is donated is actually reaching the people in Kenya?
That's a very good question, a very important question. First of all, we don't disperse the money to the family directly. As you can imagine, people who don't even know how to feed their kids, it could be a temptation to have that money on their account. So we pay school fees directly to the schools. We want to see the receipts. We want to see the school grades. We want to see the school reports so that we can assure that we know that those kids are really in school and not other kids or whatever. We want to have reports from our projects on a regular basis. And luckily we have Aruna on site who visits the projects from time to time on a regular basis and not always announced. Luckily, after 15 years, we have a strong network in Kenya and strong partners. So we also use our partners and our network to get information, as an example, with cost estimates. We ask other people or our network if the cost estimates are realistic. And from that point, we can go into discussions and find that point where what we pay and what not. And another advantage is that we have the possibility through our partners to get good materials to a fair price. As an example, laptops for our university students. Laptop is very important for studying. And with our partner Scan, we got the possibility to get them the laptops with a very good quality for a fair price. So we use that as well.
What impact have you been able to create by people's donation?
We hand over your question to one or some of our students. Let's ask some of our students what the impact has done to their lives. What do you think?
Sounds like a great idea.
My name is Masimweni Motinda. Sometimes it is very hard to find that chance to come to school. So we had to do digital online studies. Like we were able to learn from our phones, but it is not at the same time. It is not easy to have a phone at this age. It was hard for our parents to give us the phone or buy us the phone. So also, I've gained a lot of respect for myself.
I'm Karen Susan in Form 1. I'm in Sylvan High School. Girls Masomo Lab has helped me to know more. I have never known chemistry and mathematics, but now I can work, I can do it myself, and I can also teach my fellow students.
What an inspiration, and thank you to the students for sharing their stories. Practically speaking, what were you able to do, or what can you do with the amount of $10?
With $10, you can feed 30 students for just one day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How about like with $30 or $50?
With $30, you can buy, as an example, you could buy a school uniform for a primary child. In Kenya, they have to wear uniforms in school. $30 is a huge amount for poor families. But for us, you fit a primary kit for 1 year, or as long as it doesn't grow too fast. But they even wear their uniforms even if they're grown out. And $50, with $50, you can buy, as an example, the uniform, and also the school supplements like school books, pencils, pens, whatever they need to go to school and be ready for it.
What about like if a bit a higher amount, like with $100 or with $200?
What we do with $100 in a month, with some projects we also support with teacher salaries. Teacher salary in the slum area in Nairobi is around $100 in a month. And the good thing about that is you're not only helping one person, that's teacher, you help them to feed their whole family. And with $200, I mean, this is less than 50 cents a day, you can bring a child to primary school and finance a whole year of education for one kid.
Yeah, and I think important to know, though, I think what's also, like when we were talking about food programs, I mean, what is really important with the school fees, that the kids actually also get meals during their school time.
Absolutely. It's not only what we do with that amount, it's not only school fees, we're giving them food, because many families, poor families, can't afford buying food for their kids, can't afford 3 meals a day. So that's the place where they eat, actually.
Very good. And a bit the higher fees, like with $400 or $800, what would be able to support?
Yeah. With $400, we finance a laptop for university students, which hopefully holds the whole university time. That's actually what they have to. Otherwise, they have to finance or fund it on their own. And with $800, we send one child or one teenager to secondary school for a whole year, including boarding. Especially with girls, we think it's very important that they stay in school and don't need to commute in between school and home. Could be at some points and some places it could be a safety problem, and we want to keep them focused on school.
Yeah, quite important, I think. Very cool.
And maybe just to finish that, I mean, that's quite a big amount, but with $1,500 a year, you send a student to university, depending on the course they take. Some of them are a bit cheaper, some of them are a bit higher.
And talking about the cost, you told me earlier on that it's quite a challenge because the cost somehow fluctuates.
Yes, that's quite a challenge. Not only that the prices are changing from time to time, it's also that the school fees vary from school to school. So we don't know, we can't say the primary school costs that and that much. We work with averages and with our experience, but every school has their own prices. So it's a Runa's job to cross-check and double-check that are the real prices, what the others are paying as well.
Okay, thank you. So we talked about a bit of, how your organization was founded, what you did in the past, and also like the current challenges, but interesting, sure, for everyone is what is next?
Yeah, that's a good question. So as I already mentioned, we took that high responsibility and we sent 254 kids to school this year. We want to keep them in school. So obviously we have first step will be to find donors who will support us or the kids going to school and staying in school. They're not only in school for a year. That's a long-term partnership and responsibility we take. And on the other side, we also have a couple of challenges on the project side, like we talked about the online trainings, which we also like to work on in future. Next to school, hopefully that we hope that the schools stay open, but next to that, it's a great opportunity to support those kids with online schooling and mentoring sessions. But there we have the challenge with the mobile phones. How do we handle those topics? And on the other side, we also like to support those children with soft skill trainings, what should I say, building up their self-confidence as an example. I mean, many of those kids, or most of those kids, have a very low self-confidence. And going into the working environment, they need to be ready. So these are topics, or also how do you work efficiently? How do you prepare your CV? All those kind of things. We are working on how to measure that. How do we measure that program is effective and also efficient? So these are the challenges we're facing right now. And when they're solved, I'm confident that they will be solved quite soon, or hopefully this year. I think, unfortunately, we have other kids who are still on the streets and would need support with their education. So
There's still plenty of work to do, I guess, right?
I think we won't get bored. And if you get bored, that's good.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah. But then probably you find something new, as I know you.
Absolutely.
So we're already coming to an end. So thank you for your time, Natalie. I think also a big thank you to everyone in Kenya who supported and shared their stories with so much pride and joy. It's really remarkable what you have achieved throughout the years. So really, I think I just love it. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. And I'm glad that we were able to support you as well with our initiative, and all the best in the future.
Thank you, Andrea, and thank you to the whole Travel in Motion team for initiating that 1% for Future initiative. We were very happy that we had the possibility to work with your donation and send those kids to school. Asante sana, they say in Kiswahili.
1% is an amount we at Travel in Motion felt was a suitable contribution. But as you heard, every dollar counts. Please be generous to support those which are not in the same privileged position as you may be. Without charities like We Care For and many others, our contributions would not reach the intended recipients. We sincerely thank the charities and NGOs for supporting the long-term well-being of our world, be that by helping nature, supporting children, health and education, or promoting and helping to keep the peace. Thank you.
So welcome to Joachim School. Today we have 10 girls from Joachim that are being supported with the We Care For scholarship. We are happy to have them here today and to say a great thank you for supporting them.
1.5. So the 1.5 will come and bring it here down to be 1.5.
Are you getting the picture? Yes. Look at picture A. What are those people doing?
Right? And what can you say?